Hello and welcome to episode 64 part 2 of my Wurm Unlimited tutorial series. It's not a normal introduction, I know. Well, this episode itself is actually a last minute thing because one, I realised the competition ended today for the baking of the bread, so I needed to make a video to announce that. Two, someone asked a question which I have no idea about the answer, but hopefully one of you who watch or listen to this will know the answer. And thirdly, I missed out some information. Well, I didn't miss it out, I just didn't realise about the update. I'm talking about the birch. Alright, I was wrong. Nothing new there, I know, granted, but it was all because I was silly and reading the Wormpedia, the bit that I had read on coal making, didn't discuss the different worms, the wood types that you can use and their benefits, because when I used to make coal piles, that just didn't exist. A lot of these new trees, walnut and a lot of the other ones are all new, and when I read the Wormpedia and see no mention of it, I didn't think twice, for it's always been birch. But me bad, I did miss some information, so I'm going to cover that as well. So here we are, an Impronto part 2. I didn't realise there'd be a part 2, but it's better for indexing. Normally I know I would do it in a new episode, but it was pointed out to me by someone, I think it was Roman, that it makes more sense to keep it in as a part 2, then the indexing is cleaner. So, right, without further ado then, so the competition finished today, and we have, I was going to say we have 2 winners, but we actually have 3, because one of the winners, Serger, actually did it as teamwork. So, I want to just announce first of all, Serger and his good lady wife, Lady Laneyah, baked a quality level 70.04 loaf of bread between them. Serger grew the wheat and Lady Laneyah baked the loaf. Good teamwork and congratulations on that. I hope you both will decide to join us on this server if you wish, because you might just want to enter the competition for a bit of fun. That's really what the competitions are all about. It's just us all having a bit of fun, using some of these skills that maybe you wouldn't ordinarily touch. Challenging you. That's what this series is all about, keep you engaged. And now though, of course, it serves an even better purpose that allows, I know some of you want to join us, I know a lot of you don't, but for those few of you that do, here's your avenue to. So anyway guys, I hope you decide to join us. And we have a second winner, because remember, for this baking competition there was 2 winners. It's only this competition that we're having 2 winners, because I need to stay out the doghouse. I've been in there long enough. So it's only this competition that will have 2 winners, and the second winner is Harley and Christ. So it's a very lovely video you did, Harley. It did make me chuckle. Harley baked a quality level 60.90 loaf of bread. So he was point 14 under Serger. I mean, can you believe that? Under Serger and Lady Laneyah. Can you believe that? So close. 0.14. Incredible that you were so close, but you just came in behind second place. But of course you also are welcome to now join Rainstorm and me on this server, or as I'm now starting to call us all, the Crazy Gang. But I always mean it in good spirits. I'm never talking, you will never hear me talk derogatory about anyone except myself. There, I thought I'd just put that in, because if we can't laugh at ourselves, we are taking life far too seriously. So there we go. There's our second winner. Well done to all of you. Well done to the 3 of you. Absolutely fantastic, and thank you for joining in the spirit of things by doing the competitions. To the rest of you, I'll announce a new competition in the next episode. Oh no, not the next episode, it has to be the one after the next. Oh, you'll see why. But it's going to be a really fun competition, the next one. It's going to be an important one for yourselves, for all of you. Whether you win it or not, it's going to be an item. There, I've given a bit away, but it's going to be an item which is at this point in our game is probably one of the most important items for you. But all will become clear in the future. Okay, moving on. So I've mentioned about the fact that all future competitions will only have one winner. But you can also invite your friend if you play with them all the time, or your spouse, or one other person basically. Also, and this bit is important, if you enter one of the competitions, to qualify, you need to either show us a picture or a video so everyone can see your success. Now, I know a long time ago I mentioned just the fact of showing it, but Treebeard in time has realised that there's a very good chance that in the future that could cause contention between people. I'm not suggesting that anyone would ever say they've achieved something and they haven't, not at all. I'm not talking about me, I'm so laid back I nearly fall over. But I'm talking about if someone shows a video where they've made something quality level 90 and then someone leaves a comment after that, oh, I did better, I got 95, but they don't show a picture. You can see where I'm coming from. There can be contention. So for every competition in the future, if you want to qualify, then have a picture or a video of your result, your achievement. If you're just participating for the pure fun of it, you don't really care about joining us on the server, then just leave a comment. It's absolutely fine. It's not compulsory joining us here on the Mad Island with the crazy gang. But there you go. So there's that. Right. That's all out the way. Right. Moving on. Next. Laneyah asked a question in episode 63. Excuse me. Sorry. They asked, this is the question. Does anyone know how to wipe a server you have been renting? Now, I don't have a clue about the answer to that because I've not been in that situation, okay? But what I'm hoping is that someone who's listening may know the answer to that question, because I do want to try and get all questions answered. It's just me. Call me weird, but there you go. If you do know the answer to that question, or you want to inquire further, get more details to be able to answer it better, then could you please reply to Laneyah, that's Laneyah, in episode 63. You'll see Laneyah asks that question, so if you could reply to them, it would be greatly appreciated, if you know the answer, that is, of course. Okay, moving on. Right, in the last episode, or part of this episode on charcoal piles, you see my big charcoal pile burning. Well, before me is the results of that. So it's like I said to you, when your charcoal pile finishes burning, it ends up as a pile of items. The reason for that is because 3 different items are dropped. As you're all well aware, if a minimum of 2 different items get placed on the same tile, it creates a pile of items. So let's go take a look. Okay. Right, so as you can see, yes, the quality level isn't club fantastic. It's only like 1498.98. But if we take a look at my skills on coal making, you'll see it's not only it's capped mainly here by my skill. So I wouldn't expect to do a great deal more. But as my skill improves, so will results. But I'm not going to say too much before reading the Wormpedia. I've landed too many times flat on my face or flat on my derriere. So there we go. But you can see, look, even that was my very first coal pile, and I've still got 9 of each type of item. Now, I do know when I was on Wurm Online, what would it be, about a year ago when I was making coal piles, as my skill got higher, there was more items. Goodness me, they've made so many changes, what with all the new trees, and I observe in the Wormpedia, you'll see that I read that birch doesn't even factor in anymore. Well, it might be they've removed that as well, that as your skill gets higher you get more items. I don't believe so, because they always like to reward you, Code Club AB. So, you know, let's cross our fingers and hope that the higher you get your coal making, the more items you get out your coal pile. But you know what, if you had 100, if I'd have made 100 coal piles, there you go, look how many items you get so quickly. And it weren't a huge amount of work. So there we are. Right, okay, moving on. Well, I think now it's time to correct my mistake with birch. So let's jump to the wonderful Wormpedia. You see, the problem is when I went to the Wormpedia, perhaps I was in too much haste, but I missed the notes, and it's all in the notes, and that's why I usually like reading the notes. So right, reading the notes from Wormpedia, this is the information I missed, and it did happen to be very important information. Okay, a single charcoal, ash and tar is produced at each decay tick. So as your coal pile burns, as it decays per tick, you're going to get 1 of each. So looking at the coal pile, it burned for 9 ticks, or decayed in 9 ticks. Okay, wood type affects production. And oh wow, I wish I'd have read this. Cedar wood piles burn slower due to their decay tick mechanic, but produce the same amount as a non-special wood type. Oaken wood piles produce more charcoal as they take less decay per tick and thus have more ticks. Thank you very much, Roman, because I believe you mentioned that in a comment. And thank you to Alley Cats. Both of you inspired me to go and read these notes because I'd blundered so much. But there we go. Where I had said that other wood, I won't say it even anymore, won't say its name, it's oaken wood. It's such a shame that they've done that, because as we know, oaken wood is for your tools. So it was just handy to know that you could use different wood types for different things, thereby if you run out of one wood type, at least you can do the other things. But anyway, I suppose it don't matter, you can just plant an oaken wood forest now. The only trouble is they take about, I don't know how many months to, well probably, I mean looking by the oak tree we've got here at my deed, this one is still only very old, and that's been there before I even started on this island. They take ages. Right, anyway, I'm waffling. Reading on. Walnut piles give a 10% bonus on the quality of the items it produces. Thank you, Alley Cats, for pointing that out. Now, you're all asking yourself, so which is better to go for? More of the items or better quality level of the items? Well, I say this to y'all. If you're just starting out and training your skill, well, let's see, if you're starting out and just training your skill, you're going to be making loads of coal piles. So I think at the beginning it's all about quality level, but once you reach, actually, what am I talking about? It's got to be all about quality level. So I don't know, I suppose everyone's different. Me personally, if you want to know what I think personally, I think I would always go for the quality bonus, because I know how important that is with the charcoal. So, and as I'm a maniac when it comes to making charcoal piles, I'm sure they used to be called coal piles. Maybe I really am going insane at an accelerated rate. Yeah, perhaps I should go see a psychiatrist. Never mind, I'm waffling or straying. Right, yeah, so I think I'd go with the quality bonus overall and stick to that. So look out, walnut trees. You're not going to be safe on my island anymore. Okay, the last thing under notes, other wood types have no effect on burn time or charcoal production. Well, thank you very much for destroying my use of them trees that I mentioned in the last part of this episode. Never mind, I forgive you. You gave us a beautiful game. Right, okay, moving on in the notes. The last log added determines the wood type of the pile. Oh yay, at least I got one thing right in the first part of this charcoal piles episode. At least I can claim one thing I got right. So you could add 20 pine logs but have one final added being an oak log, and you would get an oak charcoal pile. Well, actually, I would say you would add a walnut log. But, and here's something, Mr. Wormpedia, that you don't say, which I do. Well, actually, I better just check. Yes, so you've got a rare bit of dirt, but you want to have a walnut pile. The very first log you make your pile with the kindling with is walnut. If you want quality, if you want more components, the very first log that you use with the kindling would be oaken wood. And then the very last item you use would be your rare dirt. Not only will you get the benefit of the wood type you've used, but you'll also make it rare. So I believe I've redeemed myself partially, because I know that you aren't all that forgiving. I know that most of you are yelling at me behind your monitors, calling me all sorts of colourful names, depending on the country, of course. But I won't go there. Let's move on instead. Okay, ash decays fast, even inside the pile as it burns. Well, in this, let's see, when did I do this, the last part of this episode? It must have been yesterday morning. So, how many hours ago would that have been roughly? I'm guessing that would have been 12 plus 20 hours ago. Right, okay, here's the facts for Wurm Unlimited. That coal pile was made yesterday, Sunday, at about 12 a.m. Oh, I don't know. I've lost the plot with my mind. Roughly in morning, early afternoon time. And you can see no rot as of 8 o'clock the following evening. Okay, so that's a good long time. And that's a very long time, in fact. Because that's over 24 hours, in fact. Oh, I've been to work today. I'm tired. What do you expect? I'm in no mood for adding up figures. But there, just don't worry. You can leave it a day that I know about in Wurm Unlimited. Wurm Online, yeah, they did used to rot fast, but I heard they did some updates on Deed, so let's not go there, shall we? Right, moving on in Wormpedia. Making 31 piles from Discovery without sleep bonus will net around 24 coal making skill. That will only apply to Wurm Online. Us Wurm Unlimited players would probably be at about 31 piles would probably be oh well, goodness sake, I've made one and I'm at nearly half that, or over half that, so 31 piles would probably put us at 50 plus. So there you go, that's for you Wurm Online players. And last but not least, I got there at last, it is possible to get a rarity drum roll while continuing a charcoal pile, which will produce a random number of rare charcoal, ash and tar. So there we go, my dear viewers. Sorry for all the waffling, but I did need to get all of that off my chest. Plus I needed to announce the winners to the competition. So I hope that you guys will come and join all of us here. Let's show you. There's a few people on at the moment. Maybe they don't want to see their chat being discussed, but we got the crazy gang on. Come and join us and be crazy. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every single last one of you safe. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.